The EFF have launched a scathing attack on the government's proposed 700 million rand budget for a national dialogue, dismissing the initiative as a talk shop for elites and a blatant attempt to load public funds under the guise of democratic consultation. In a statement issued by the party leader Julius Malema, the EFF condemned the dialogue as grotesque, square, immoral, and deeply disconnected from the harsh realities facing millions of South Africans. The statement said this country does not need a dialogue. We all know what the problems are. We need implementation. We need jobs, land, housing, education, healthcare, and safety. We will not stand by while 700 million rand is looted in the name of nation building. The National Dialogue Preparatory Task Team is reportedly planning 2 national conventions and an unspecified number of public engagements. But for the EFF, this effort lacks both credibility and constitutional grounding. Malema said dialogues do not cost 700 million rand. This is cronyism, dressed up as democratic engagement, while our people queue outside broken clinics and our children study under leaking roofs. According to EFF, the proposed dialogue lacks defined outcomes, transparency, and meaningful public benefit. Instead, it is seen as an elite-driven project, insulted from the lived experiences of the poor and marginalized. The timing of announcement, amid rising fuel prices, ongoing unemployment, and recent battle over a proposed VAT increase, was described by Malema as an insult to struggling citizens, and said this government wants to spend nearly a billion rand for a glorified conference while failing to pay educators, hire doctors, or rebuild decaying infrastructure. The EFF pointed to recently policy battles, including its resistance to a proposed VAT hike, as evidence of the government's priorities being skewed in favor of the elite. The Red Berets are now demanding a detailed line-by-line breakdown of the dialogue's proposed budget. They are also exploring legal avenues to block the expenditure and have called on civil society, labor unions, and everyday South Africans to resist what they label abuse of public funds. The party said only an ANC government in alliance with the DA could believe that democracy is a sunset conference with inflated invoices and no consequences. While affirming support for genuine public consultation, the EFF insisted that real transformation lies in resuscitating industries, creating employment, and equipping public services, not in hosting high-cost conventions disconnected from grassroots realities. In closing, the EFF underscored its long-standing call for wealth redistribution, expropriation of land without compensation, and a state-led approach to economic transformation. According to the party, hosting costly panels and symbolic discussions will do little to change the lived conditions of the poor. And since South Africans don't need a national dialogue, they need bold action. They need a government that works for the people, not one that hosts self-congratulatory conferences while the country bends. As the government moves ahead with its plans, the stage is set for yet another political showdown, with the EFF positioning itself as the champion of economic justice and vocal opponent of wasteful governance. Herman Mashaba has also joined the chorus, criticizing the 700 million rand that will be spent on the national dialogue. Action SA leader Herman Mashaba has slammed the government's plan 700 million rand national dialogue, calling it a waste of public funds and out of touch with the daily struggles faced by millions of South Africans. Mashaba made the remarks on Monday in Alexandra, where his party launched its campaign for the 2026 local government elections, and said it's really so sad when I hear our president announcing the spending of 700 million rand to hold talks about talks when roads are in shambles. Do you need a national dialogue to know that the roads are in a bad state? National dialogue, announced by President Ramaphosa's administration, is billed as a nation-building initiative aimed at addressing South Africa's persistent social and political divisions. The program includes a national convention in August 2025 involving more than 1,000 delegates, followed by 6 to 9 months of public engagement, and eminent persons group will also be appointed to serve as ambassadors for the process, which is expected to produce a 30-year action plan focusing on jobs, inequality, education, healthcare, and land reform. However, Mashaba said the dialogue is nothing more than a costly public relations exercise and said indications are that the so-called national dialogue is already looking like a careful choreographed process to fool South Africans yet again. Mashaba also took aim at government's previous initiatives, including the annual investment conferences, which it described as media spectacles with little tangible return, and said all we have seen are media picture-perfect announcements of claim investor pledges amounting to hundreds of billions of rands, with nothing pointing to such pledges, leading to a noticeable job creation. No one seems to be asking how much has been spent on these conferences and what has been their return on public investment. Other than fabulous media appearances for the president, he also slammed the governments of national unity, saying it lacks cohesion and direction, and said the government of national unity includes the different parties pulling in different directions. No new policies have been introduced to tackle economic stagnation. Mashaba cited the latest employment data, saying nearly 300,000 people lost their jobs in the last quarter, with more than 8.2 million South Africans now unemployed and another 3.5 million who claimed to have given up looking for work, and said expected economic growth has been revised down repeatedly from 1.3% to 0.6%. He warned that Action SA will monitor the national dialogue process closely. If it goes ahead, we will follow the money, he said. Every rand spent will be scrutinized. We will demand full transparency on how the funds are allocated, which service providers are appointed, and whether ordinary South Africans benefit, or whether this becomes another Trojan horse to benefit politically connected middlemen who add no value. We refuse to stand by and let South Africans be fooled again. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.